We have a lot to talk about tonight. Let's start with our top story. From poverty and hunger to the environment and peace. Bono is certainly no stranger to saving the world. But now the U2 frontman has a new cause, saving Europe. And today he was here in Brussels meeting with the presidents of the European Parliament. And while Africa development may have been the official reason, the future of Europe quickly dominated the discussion.
As an artist, I think I probably have a role to play in romancing the idea of being a European and seeing it as something warm-blooded. Europe is a thought that needs to become a feeling, and I'm, as an artist, in the service of that.
Well, Bono is just one of several stars to get political this week. In the UK, on Brexit, Sir Patrick Stewart of Star Trek fame said that he will play for people who want to attend the People's Vote March in London. And in the US, pop star Taylor Swift broke her long silence in politics by endorsing the Democrats. And then we have the rapper Kanye West, who will launch a lunch at the White House with Donald Trump tomorrow. All right, I will go to Catherine. Just a quick reaction on Bono in Brussels. What do you think of that?
I just thought it was great. I mean, the thought becoming a feeling, like how to capture a moment. And I think a lot of us are feeling that. We feel European, and being a Scot who voted to remain in a country that's leaving the EU, it's just, it captures that. So I think it was great he was here today.
And you, Esther, do you think it was a good thing?
I'm a bit skeptical. Let's wait and see how much momentum really Bono can galvanize for Europe ahead of the elections next
year. Saving Europe is a big task indeed. But Darren, you managed to get a question in.
Rather funnily, of course, remember when he started his latest tour, he was going to wave the EU flag around. And several contests later had to cancel because he lost his voice, which is how many would feel aware the European Union is right now. But as you say, I managed at that press conference to get a question to Bono. And on this idea about is he really trying to save Europe? Is that his mission? Let's have a watch. So Bono, does it need a song as well? Is it a pen song for Europe?
A song and a dance. And well, you think about the mythology of America, and you think about Hollywood and how Hollywood perpetuated the idea of the American dream. It's hard to imagine when you think about artists involved in the project that is Europe. There's not that many, and I think we need more.
All right, so celebrity in politics, do they really have influence, or do they think they have influence? I think, Esther, I know where you stand on this. You're skeptical.
I'm a bit skeptical. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. On one hand, they can really step up support for a cause or draw attention to an issue. But on the other hand, they take away attention from the substance. And sometimes it's really just then becomes a focus on whether other celebrities, where they stand, or this celebrity, where it stands. So I think it can divert the attention really on the core issues.
But do you think there's an actual impact?
I do. I think they reach to people when politics, often politics, people are put off by politics. And I think when they come out and they say, this is important to me, people listen to them. And I think that's important.
If you look at the independence referendum campaign in Scotland, there are a lot of celebrities who got involved in that.
A lot of people in the arts were very involved in the debate. And I do think that, celebrities are human beings as well. And I think it brings out a kind of human element often to things that feel very distant from people. When they say something about what they believe in, people do listen to it.
I think that's the key thing now, isn't it? That celebrities are, in essence, they're not just celebrities in their own field, but they're influencers, and they have got platforms. And clearly they can engage particular sections of society who aren't engaged in politics. And I have to say, as someone who believes that participation in civic society and in democracy as a generally good thing, I think celebrities can encourage people to do that more, or to make people think about issues they haven't thought about. That's not a bad thing. And I think, Bono did go on a lot today, and sometimes it is quite difficult to listen to him, and I know people are quite divided. He has got a point about this sense of European identity. Europe is a disparate place, much like the United States. But actually, culturally, the United States has been very good at selling a sense of what it is to be an American. Europe has not done that.
Could it backfire? Because some people are saying that actually maybe because of him, people might become more Eurosceptic because they're looking at what he's doing.
Well, do you think that? I think someone coming out and saying, I feel European, I have an identity as a European, that's the current state we're in. I think that's a good thing. And I think more people need to express what it means to be a European because it's about something that's bigger than all of us. And at the moment we're into identity politics, I think Bono saying that gives a platform and others a voice.
Yeah, I think...
But it is Bono.
Go ahead.
That's for some people the problem.
When Bono said there should be a song and a dance for the EU, I already envisaged a 10-year procedure on choosing the right song and the right dance. But I think, yes, that's important that you can connect to him and there is a personal feeling and attachment. But it's also dangerous when celebrities get into politics like Donald Trump. So
right, I wanted to bring in some interesting statistic because we just saw Taylor Swift earlier. You know, they're from vote.org. They saw a 65,000 increase in voter registration in 24 hours versus 57,000 in a month. So just because she came out and spoke, you actually have.
But she spoke to a very specific audience, like the young people who haven't registered before in that.
But it pushed them to action within 24 hours. I mean, that does say something about political celebrity influence.
And you know, that's a good thing. I mean, getting out the vote, we have to be honest. I mean, voting, getting people to vote is something we'd all agree with. And if she can do that, good for her.
I don't necessarily agree that it's a bad thing. No, to have celebrities involved in politics. It's nothing new. I mean, we look at Ronald Reagan, for example. You know, he was an actor, and lots of Americans seem to think that Ronald Reagan, in retrospect, was a very good American president. I think even Democrats would appreciate that Arnold Schwarzenegger was not necessarily a bad Republican governor of California.
And somebody was Austrian as well.
There you go. So, you know, celebrity in politics isn't nothing new. It is primarily an Americanism. It does happen here in Europe. You've got Pepe Grillo.
And it does go both ways, because it's not just celebrities becoming politicians, it's also politicians who kind of, you know, build their celebrity. Let's have a look at some of these recent videos featuring Council President Donald Tusk and Commissioner spokesperson Margarita Skinas.
So starting in 3, 2, 1. That's Brexit. Means Brexit?
Yes.
Is the EU a safer place to live in than 4 years ago?
Yes.
Are we in a trade war?
No.
Is the future of Europe more Europe?
That's a difficult one.
We're done.
So there we go. You have a movie trailer, you have Skinas, they're having a bit of fun. I mean, why do you think they're doing this?
Well, the EU has had a problem, an image problem for decades, and it's somehow difficult to engage people, citizens, with the European project, with the European identity. And I think these games and shows are sort of serving that purpose to
try and get more involved. But do you think this? Some people are saying the cult of personality, it dumbs down the debate.
I think people need. We look at a really good example, Theresa May with her bizarre little dance last week. People feel that they need to be able to relate to politicians. And there has been a problem, particularly with European politicians, that Brussels seems a very long way away. They don't necessarily know who these people are, and they don't feel that they can relate to them. So any attempt, I think, by the European Union to try and show some form of personality, that these people are actually just real people, is a good thing. But you're right. What we've also seen, particularly with the rise of populism across Europe, is a sense of cult of personality around certain politicians. And we also see it with Donald Trump in the United States. That has got the potential to be quite worrying.